Today we're going to see if the upgrade to the greatest G-Shock for around £100 is better than the original. Let's get into it! Yes, and welcome to the Mad Watch Collector Show. And today is all about GShock. Now the watch on my wrist is about 4 years old, and about 3 years ago I did a show on this watch saying it was the best one to own if ever there was a zombie apocalypse. Day 1, log 1 of surviving the apocalypse. I thought I brought enough supplies, but they're gone already. Even the cat food. Zombies are everywhere. But don't worry, I'm quick, I'm nimble, they can't catch me. What's that noise? Gonna go check it out. Since then, fortunately, there's been no zombies in sight, but this watch has been by my side the majority of the time. And I am talking about the GW-M5610. This G-Shock has the closest resemblance to the very first one back in 1983. It's got a few upgrades since then, which makes it awesome. And if your budget is around £100, this was the G-Shock I was telling you to buy. Recently-ish, G-Shock came up with an updated version of this watch, and I thought, I might as well go, well, that was loud. I might as well go buy that. Apparently it's had a module update, but does the updates in this watch make it any better, or does it make it worse? Plus, do I still recommend this watch if there was a zombie apocalypse to ever happen? And at the end, I'll tell you what my wife thought. Are you G-Shock ready? Let's go. So in front of you first I have the GW-M5610. Of course it's showing a bit of sign of wear, it's still in great nick. Anyway, when I put the GW-M5610U next to it, it does look like the watch on the left has had an HD update. The screen is much clearer, isn't it? Now on the face of it, literally, these watches are pretty identical. It's that iconic square shape that has built a foundation on this absolute juggernaut of a brand that is G-Shock. A big outer resin square shroud that protects the mineral glass, and the movement inside is also suspended in resin. But look at the colours on this screen. Reds, golds, whites and blues.
Proper 80s.
And although this is quite a big watch, for G-Shock, it's not massive, with a 43mm diameter case, 46.5 lug to lug, 12.5 thickness. This watch will fit a lot of wrists. We've got 4 stainless steel pushers, a screwed down case back, plus we have 4 screws that go in the shroud and keeps the strap in place. The resin on the strap is the same as the resin shroud that goes over the screen and the movement. It doesn't feel premium like my 5000U, then again that is over £100 more, but it feels like a good honest G-Shock, you know? The strap is built in a way that if it was to drop, it bounces back up, protects that case back, and it's just a perfectly made, well, iconic looking watch. It's just amazing. Now when we go back and compare it to my first 5610, the screen does look clearer, and it's all to do with the module. Plus, if you look at the top right corner of the screen, the only differences I can see is the fact that we've got EL backlight in the old one and just light in the new one. This is because the old 3159 module had an electroluminescent backlight, which in my honest opinion is the best thing Casio has done. And to see them upgrading all their old models and putting LED lights in them, it feels like a downgrade. However, you can definitely see how clear this one is compared to this one. Now, doing my research, it appears that electroluminescent screens don't have a long life. In fact, they only have 10% the life of LED screens. So in a way, you can see why they've changed to this. I think EL screens tend to be a bit more expensive as well. And are they shaving the cost to make down to still sell at that £100 mark? I don't know. That is probably the biggest difference between these two watches. And if that was the only difference, I probably would have been happy keeping my old 5610. Now, both watches have a world time function. However, with the newer one, you can program 5 different time zones. We still have 5 alarms on both watches. A big difference on the stopwatch and countdown timer is that we still have the current time in the top right screen. We don't get that in the old one, and that is quite a big thing. Another upgrade with this 3495 module, when you go to set the time, you can change the date and day configuration, which I know send a lot of people bonkers on the old one. Both watches have the auto backlight function, which I really do like. However, with the new upgrade, you can keep the light on for 1 or 3 seconds. Obviously, because they're G-Shocks, both of these watches are water resistant to 200 meters. What makes these watches amazing buys is that they're solar powered. You probably won't need to put a battery in for at least 10 years.
At least.
Plus, because of multi-band 6, these watches are going to give you absolutely perfect time every day. 6 transmission stations around the world pump out the correct time, and in the middle of the night, provided you are close to one of these stations, they grab this signal and correct the watch if it needs it. For me being in the UK, baby, I get the accurate time all of the time.
Could you just click that like button, please? It really helps the channel. Thank you.
The only other difference with these watches, I think, is the colour of the resin. It might be my eyeballs, but the new update does look like a charcoaly black, whereas the older version looks blacky, greyer, you know?
Hello.
So on my 6.5-inch wrist, this watch feels exactly the same as the 5610. Really comfortable. I reckon it's a really good size on me. I absolutely love that red frame that separates the black screen from the waffle solar panels. I love the Shock Resist logo in the top left. And I gotta say, I do like this charcoaly grey resin colour. Just makes the dial pop out a little bit more. It's a bit of a sad moment for me, really, because I've had this 4 years. I've got this update now. Is this old one now redundant? For clarity in the daylight, the update gets the win, but for backlight legibility, it's got to go with the old one. However, I'm going to be looking at the watch more in the daylight than I am the nighttime, so this module change does make sense. So there we go, I am now an owner of the GWM 5610U. Now if you own the older version of this, should you be buying this updated version? Nah. Yes, you get very good clarity on that screen in the daytime. However, it doesn't warrant you going out and paying another £100 for a watch that is pretty much identical. I mean, I like the fact when you're in the stopwatch mode and countdown timer mode, you still have that time showing in the top right. But again, it doesn't warrant you spending another £100. But if you are looking to buy your first G-Shock, or if you own G-Shocks but not a G-Shock Square, well, I would definitely recommend the 5610U to you. This is the ultimate watch for me, because really it takes the piddle out of everything I do on this channel, seeking out great watches from all price brackets around the world, when really, if I was to just analyze myself, this is the only watch I really need, and it's going to be with me for as long as I want it to be. And this is why I believe the 5610, whether it know you or you, is the best watch to buy in 2024, just under £100. Affiliate link is in the description below. Get this watch, I guarantee you won't regret it, and after you do buy that watch, you may be ready for the 5000U. So here it is, my wife's thoughts on the new, updated 5610U. This is a joke. Tell me this is a joke. You must have 20 of these that all look the same. Bulky, rubbery, and ugly. We may need to talk about your life decisions very soon. Yes, Casio Corner is back, and we've got to say a big thanks to Vins.Watches, because I am never tired of seeing a DW5040 in the wild. This is a lovely photo of the 40th anniversary G-Shock, which I own, by the way. As you can see, very similar to this 5610 and the original from '83, but an awesome goldy looking screen. And to be fair, he's done very well balancing the watch on the palm of his hand. Has he used sticky tape, blue tack, super glue? God knows, but it's a fantastic shot, and thanks for tagging me in. If you'd like to be on the next Casio Corner, all you gotta do, find me on Instagram here and tag me in on one of your Casio posts. Who knows? Next time, the star of the show could be you. Thank you so much for watching till the end. If you want a bit more of the Mad Watch Collector, click there and join. But if I've got you for a few more minutes, why don't you check this beast out? Casio! Go on. It's a fantastic show on Casio. Oh, go on, click it. Click it, it's really good. Click it!